Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Greetings to you. So, in today's video, we're going to read Chapter 2 Diversity in the Living World. What do you mean by the word diversity? Diversity means vibhinata. ठीक है differences, there are different things, different people, different animals, different plants that is make us diverse. Okay, India is also a diverse nation. So right now we're going to start with chapter 2 of class 6, diversity in the living world. So let's read the chapter together. Okay, so when the chapter starts, there is a beautiful lines of Sanskrit. Okay, chaya manasya karuvanti तृष्यन्ति स्वयं मापे फलायम्पि पराथार्थाय वृक्षाय सत्पुरुषाय eve. Sorry if I'll spell something wrong because my Sanskrit is not that good, but the meaning is very beautiful of these two lines. Okay, so meaning stands: tree stands in the sun and give shade to others, their fruits are also for others. Likewise, good people bear all hardships and bring welfare to others. They give to others whatever they have earned. So this is the meaning of these two lines. Okay, so then we have a very beautiful picture where all the people were playing, animals were there in the forest. Everything you can see is the diversity in the living world. There are people, there are animals, there are different types of trees, flower, fruits, all those things. Okay, so it is a pleasant morning after yesterday's refreshing rain. Dr. Raghu and Maniram Chacha uncle have been invited to the school by the science teacher. Madam Sulekha to facilitate an exciting nature walk. Dr. Raghu is a scientist at the nearby research laboratory, and Maniram Chacha is an elderly person from a nearby community. Maniram Chacha is an expert in mimicking bird calls. He is also brilliant at identifying a variety of plants and animals. So, these are the two qualities of Maniram Chacha. That is important, you can underline. To prepare them for the nature walk, Dr. Raghu informed the students that the objective of this walk is to experience the beauty and variety of plants and animals in the nature. The students are excited to join them. They are curious to interact and learn from them. The teacher advised the students to carry a notebook, a pen, and a water bottle. As they walk, they begin exploring the plants and animals around them. Dr. Raghu advises the student to notice the variety of smells in the park and emphasize respecting all living creatures and observing them without disturbing. So that is a message that we don't need to harm the nature. We can observe it and we can utilize the thing that are waste for them. Matlab we need to use the thing in a judicial way. No need to exploit the nature for our benefit only, right? So that is the message. So you can underline this also. Maniram Chacha tell the students to not only observe different plants and animals but also to carefully listen to different sounds. The student come across a variety of plants including grasses, bushes and large trees. They also observe a variety of birds sitting on the branches of trees, butterflies moving from flower to flower, and monkeys jumping from one tree to another. They record their observation in their notebooks and discuss them with Raghu Chacha and Dr. Raghu, and Maniram Chacha. The students can hear the chirping of birds. Dr. Raghu informed them that each bird has a unique chirp. Every bird has a unique chirp. If you observe the chirping of the bird, you will identify that this is the sound of peacock, this is the sound of owl, this is the sound of pigeon. Pigeon is very common. We all know that what type of sound they produce, right? Because it is very common and we daily encounter the pigeon in our day-to-day life, right? So this is the thing. This is an example of diversity in nature. That is the example, diversity. Okay, vibhinata, variety. Okay. Now, Dr. Raghu represents Maniram Chacha to mimic calls of some birds. Maniram Chacha mimic different bird calls. The student enthusiastically start copying him. Have you ever observed different plants and animals around you? Share and discuss your observation with your friends and teacher. Whoa, it is an amazing how each bird has its own unique chirp. This boy on the left side in the book is saying this line, diversity in plants and animals around us. Now we'll do one activity that is related to your book. Let's explore and record. Plan a nature walk with your teacher to a park or a nearby forest. When on the nature walk, observe different plants, insects, birds, and other animals. Also note the weather condition, whether it is hot, cold, windy, and so on. You can collect different types of fallen leaves or flowers and create a scrapbook by drying them. If they are not dried properly and they've fallen down, you can dry them properly and then you can make a scrapbook of your own. Okay. Take care of plants and animals in nature. Ensure that you do not disturb the plants and animals in the park and do not pluck leaves and flowers. You only have to collect the fallen leaves and flowers. Record your observation in table 2.1 about the features of stems, leaves, flowers, and anything interesting in various plants. Some examples have been given to you for you in figure 2.1 and table 2.1. Okay, so this is a picture of grass. We all see it. This is a picture of tulsi, holy basil. What is the name of tulsi in English? Holy basil. Okay, so don't get confused. This is a picture of hibiscus, जिसको हम कहते हैं गुड़हल. गुड़हल का flower in Hindi, but in English we call it hibiscus flower. Okay, now observation of different plants around us. Local name of the plant, common grass. Stem, soft and thin. Leaves, shape, arrangement of leaves. A single leaf grown alternatively from different points on the stem. You can see alternate hote hain, one this side, one that side, one this side, one that side, then we'll get a whole new grass. Okay, now flower they don't have. Next, any other observation and feature, green leaves. Their leaves and stem all green in color because they are soft, thin and very small in size. Okay, now tulsi or holy basil, right? Very good. Hard and thin. Arrangement of a pair of leaves in the opposite direction. And if you see tulsi in your balcony, we all have tulsi in our balconies, right? Everyone has it. So tulsi is good for us. Why? Because it gives oxygen at night also. That's why we worship it. So we all need to keep one tulsi in our house to get fresh air. Okay, in our balcony, because that fresh oxygen come inside our house when we open the door, right? When we'll open the a wooden door and just close a jali net thing hai na, so we'll get that fresh oxygen inside our house in the night time also. Okay, arrangement, and the pinkish purple flower comes on the tulsi leaf. Okay, and if anything other than that you have observed something, you can write it down. Suppose when the tulsi grow proper in size, their stem become brown in color, it's very hai na, and starting with it, that is very small, and they have so small seeds on it. With the help of those seed we can grow a new tulsi plant, right? So this is the observation that I have observed so far, and you can write your observation, that what you have observed, right? Now next, hibiscus, hard. Now you have to write neem, hard and thick. The two blanks were given. Other observation, leaves with smooth surface. They have nemodi also and green color flowers. That's my observation. You can write your own observation. Okay, any other plant that you have in your surrounding or in your house, you know the name, you can do that. So this is the thing that you need to do in this activity. Okay, now what similarities and differences did you find among the plants that you observed? You must have observed that plants have a variety of features such as tall, short, hard, soft stem, different shapes of leaf and their arrangement on the stem or branches, right? Flowers varying in color, shape, smell, texture, size, okay, scents, hai na? Right? Now create a list of animals you observed during this walk or from your previous experiences. Record the place where you live, where they live, the food they eat, and the way they move around in table 2.2. Some examples have been provided for you. Observation of different animals around us in table 2.2. Name of the animal, local name. place where they live, food they eat, the way they move around, any other observation and feature. Crow, live on place, tree, food insect, fly and walk, carry a twig in its beak. Ant, nest in soil and burrow, that we call ant hill. Okay, leaves, seeds and insects, everything they eat, whatever edible they eat it. Okay, now the way they move around, they walk on the ground with their feet. Okay, now have 6 legs. Okay, crow, cow, sorry, cow may place where they live, you have to write, because they are domestic also, mostly cows are domestic, so you have to write, you have to think about it. Okay, grass and leaves, they are herbivores, right? Next, they, the way they move, they walk with their limbs, है ना, they have 4 legs. Okay, now other animals, whatever you find, you can extend the table, you can increase the size of the table, and you can write your observation. Okay, what are the similarities and differences among the animal that you have observed and recorded in table 2.2? Now you have to do that. You would have observed that some animals live on land while some others live on trees. Birds live on trees, fish live in water, and some animals like frog live on land as well as in water. Animals consume a diverse range of foods and exhibit a variety of movements. Sketch the plant and animal observed by you in your notebook, or prepare a scrapbook with leaves, flowers from different plants, and feathers from animals. Write all the details you have gathered about them. So, whatever you are collecting, you need to gather all the information related to that particular animal or plant. Okay? While traveling to and from school, observe your surrounding and look out for a variety of plants and animals. Add the name of any plant or animal that you have not listed before in table 2.1 and table 2.2. ये मैंने आपको पहले बोला था that this is the thing you can do. Now, activity 2, let us appreciate. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and think of one plant and one animal that you have closely observed and appreciated very much. Now, each one of you can draw the plant and animal that you thought of on the blackboard. What are your observations about the various plants and animal that have been drawn? Okay, so we can do this activity in the class. Your teacher will make sure you'll do that. Okay, now how many different plants and animals did the entire class draw on the board? Do you think that there may be many more varieties of plants and animal other than those drawn on the board? The variety, underline this, the variety of plants and animal found in a particular region contributes to the biodiversity of that region. Bio means life, diversity means variety. Life, living variety, we call it biodiversity in that particular area. What type of plants, what type of animals, birds, all living in that area, that is known the biodiversity of that particular region or particular country or particular state or particular area. Okay, each member in the biodiversity of a region has a different role to play. For example, tree provide food and shelter some birds and other animals. Animal help in spreading seeds after eating fruits, and so on. Everyone gives something to us. कोई ना कोई हमें कुछ ना कुछ दे रहा है. Plants are the utmost important because they give us oxygen, they give us shelter, they give us food, they give us everything. Animals also help the plant to spread their seeds from one place to another. Okay, so this is the role of animal, so that a variety of that particular tree can grow in a variety of region, and it can spread their seeds easily, because plants are not able to walk from one place to another, so they take help from the other animals. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, can you think of more such examples? This shows that plants and animals are dependent on each other. So they are interdependent, they both depend on each other. Plant depend on animals and animals depend on plants. Animals also give them carbon dioxide, so that with the help of that carbon dioxide they can produce oxygen for us and for themselves also. Okay, how to grow plants and animals? How would you arrange your book and notebook in groups? Would arranging them in group help you better organize your school bag? Now let us look at the world around us. We are surrounded by a variety of plants and animals with different features about which you have learned in section 2.1. We can group them based on similarities and differences among them. Now we can group some similar features. If we have observed, suppose there are trees, so they all are tall, they all have trunk, they all have branches, they all have leaves. So we put mango, neem, people, all these tree, banyan in same category. They are trees. Now we have shrubs, then we have herbs, right? So we found some common features and then we put them in the same category for better understanding and to find out more features, to make it a table, to make it clear to us, so that we can memorize, so that we can understand more about our nature, more about our diversity. Okay, so that's why we need to segregate the thing according to their basic common features they have. Okay, now activity 2.3, let us group. Collect pictures of various other plants and animals. Cut their pictures from old magazines, newspapers, charts and other sources. Paste each of these pictures on a different card. Divide your class in groups of 5 to 6 students each. Poll the cards prepared by the student in your group. Observe various features of plants and animals shows on the card. Recall the features of plants and animals that you have listed in table 2.1 and table 2.2. Group them on the basis of some common features. Share and discuss the basis of grouping you have made with other group in your class. You will be surprised to see that the basic used by the different groups may vary. What do you think are the reason behind it? Different student might have chosen different common features for the grouping. I have chosen some different features, you have chosen some different features, so there may be a differences, but at least we segregate them for our understanding. Okay, so for example, some student may have chosen the height of the plants on the basis for grouping, while other might have choose presence or absence of flower at the as the basis for grouping of plants. So there are different things you can choose, right? Now, presence or absence of flower, hard or soft stem, eating habits, place they live. You may have grouped animals based on varied features such as what they eat, where they live, what color they are, and how they move. What is the importance of grouping? Grouping make it easier to understand and study plants and animals on the basis of their similarities and differences. You will learn more about the importance of grouping in our daily lives in the chapter Material Around Us. In the next chapter, we will understand more about grouping. Now, how to group plants. From this point, we will going to start with a new video. Now, otherwise this video will become very long. Now, it's 18 minutes long. So, we have read 3-4 pages together. I hope you love it. We can do this on daily basis so that it will be your habit first to read the chapter, and then you have to understand the important points and underline the important points related to that particular chapter by understanding them, and then you can frame your own answer once you get the point. Okay, thank you so much for watching.